Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us. Well, we're going from sex trafficking to bullying. I think there's a lot of connection going on there, and delighted to have in the studio with us today Paul Coughlin. He heads up the Protectors, and their first annual event is coming up at the Rogue Valley Country Club this next Thursday? Tuesday, the 28th, that's right. Got to get my head straightened out. And ending bullying in Southern Oregon and throughout the world. Hi, bud. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks. How about you?
Yeah, busy. Tell us about your event and what it's about.
Yeah, Perry, we've been fighting bullying for over a decade. And our biggest need, our program has proven to work. We just got back from Hopkins County, Kentucky for an entire week.
Wow.
Spoke to every student, numerous parents, had kids apologizing during the presentation to one another, which was huge.
Really?
And so our program is effective in diminishing bullying in both public and private schools and Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Sunday school. Our biggest need is bringing it to groups that can't afford it. And so we have a fundraiser coming up to fill that gap, to help us battle the #1 form of child abuse in the nation. And as you said earlier, the connection between sex trafficking and bullying is profound. Many of the people who run sex trafficking are school bullies, and many of the girls who find themselves susceptible to their ploys are girls who had been targets of serial bullying. Their self-esteem is just, it's shot, and they end up doing things they normally wouldn't do, so the connection's profound.
We're running a special on the Dove TV, and it deals with homosexuals coming out of homosexuality. And one of the greatest causes of them to go into that lifestyle is in their pre-adolescent years or adolescent years as a result of bullying. They lose their identity there.
They sure do, and they find themselves susceptible to, there's two kinds of power. There's real power and perceived power, and bullies are excellent at pretending to have power that they really don't. And when a child has been a target of bullying, their ability to see that is greatly diminished. They need help.
Well, this is another subject that has skyrocketed throughout the country, and we're seeing it at all levels, not only schoolyard bullying, but now you got cyberbullying, you got corporate bullying, you got all kinds of stuff going on with this. And so you want to raise funds to go into organizations that can't afford to bring you in.
Yeah, for example, locally, Hoover Elementary, I spoke to their parents last month, and it was a fantastic gathering. Most schools don't have a budget for anti-bullying efforts, and it's often a state mandate.
Right.
So it's an unfunded mandate, like many other mandates from the government, and so they desperately need help. And but they just don't have the budget. So we need people of goodwill to step in the gap and allow us to do what we do well, and that gets kids to stop bullying one another, to stand up against it, to help those poor targets fake it so they become more confident inside, but most importantly, Perry, I'd say working with the parents. Parents are the frontline defense against bullying, not so much teachers, and we really need to get that message out to our culture, because bullying is not a school problem, it is a cultural problem, and it takes a community to really fix it.
All right, next Tuesday at the Rogue Valley Country Club, there's going to be a special fundraising event. What do they do to attend? What's the deal?
They can go to our website, they can go to our Facebook page, The Protectors, and from there there's an invite that they can go to. They need to register. It's $15 to cover the cost of the event itself. Dr. Paul Gossman is going to be our special speaker. He is the person who allowed the documentary Bully to be filmed in his school district. He's one of my living heroes. He is a remarkably courageous man, very, very interesting man as well. Most people just wouldn't do that, because if you look at that documentary, the school district does not come out looking very good. There's a story behind that story that we're going to tell, though, at the event. We're also, a very funny story, we're also going to be giving away a signed guitar by Joe Walsh of the Eagles.
How'd you do that?
the man who has been handing Joe Walsh his guitar for decades on tour is a fan of the Protectors. He's out of Ohio, I think, and he's it's a long story. His name's Mark, and he said, "Hey, do you want a guitar from Joe Walsh?" And I said, "Sure." And we're getting 2 tickets to the concert in Eugene. Is it May 26th, I think, too? So it's a cool deal.
Yeah, and so you'll be giving away that guitar?
Yeah, we're going to do some sort of
a raffle or something?
And we'll announce it at the end. In fact, Jason will be the one announcing the winner.
Okay. Well, let me encourage you. If you understand or you are dealing with this whole subject of bullying, and it's huge, what a great opportunity to get Paul and his organizations, the Protectors, into schools and organizations that really can't afford it. And yet they need what he has to offer. You can go to theprotectors.org or just go to their Facebook page, and it'll be next Tuesday evening. I see where you're 6 to 7, you got a social time, 7 to 8, the actual program. And I'm telling you, this thing has skyrocketed. I don't know how, you must be booked forever. Everybody wants you.
We're pretty busy. Yeah, fall time in particular is very busy. We just returned from Hopkins County, Kentucky, where I think I spoke 16 times in 5 days. Also was given on Palm Sunday, one of the pastors there gave up the pulpit and allowed me to be the speaker that day.
Really?
That's, as you know, that's very uncommon.
Yeah.
His name's Chris. He's a great guy, loves his community. So it's really cool with the Protectors. We were able to work with the entire public school system, but then also work with the faith-based organizations that feed children into that public school system.
I just wonder if sooner or later you're going to be impacted by this problem. It's just a matter of time, and hopefully your kids aren't. But I don't know how you gotta be on top of it. It's one of these issues you just got to be on top of. The bullying, we just had Treva Kuiper in, and she does the Loft, and the bullying among girls, teenage girls from 8th grade to 12th grade is just unbelievable. Yeah, and it's so cruel.
Oh, it's getting worse usually through cyberbullying. Perry, cruelty is currency in youth culture, and it's a fact that we just don't want to admit, but it's true. And that's not someone else's child. That's our child. To get ahead socially, it helps to be a bully, at least in the middle school years. As you get into the high school years, it gets more frowned upon. But through 4th grade, through 9th grade, to be unkind, to be mean, and even cruel gets you ahead socially. And more studies have proven it over and over. The last one, UCLA, February of 2013, they asked over 1,100 middle schools, so we're talking tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of kids, a name for us, the bullies. And then they asked them to name the most popular kids. The lists were almost identical. It gets you ahead. So what we need to do that's a cultural problem, Perry. The teachers' unions didn't get together and say, hey, we want to make cruelty currency. They didn't do that. No. We're the ones who've allowed that to take place. So as adults, as mature adults, particularly people of faith, we need to change that currency. We need to make moral and ethical civic courage currency in order to denounce that behavior. Kids will do heroic things if we give them heroic things to do.
Right.
And
you saw that in Kentucky because they ended up apologizing.
During the presentation.
Really? What happened?
I challenge. What you have to do is they have to like you. So hopefully they liked me. So I go in and make jokes about my own bald spot and all that kind of stuff, and they kind of like that. And then you establish credibility. I write for Fox News. I say that I work with the Baltimore Ravens, and football players are deity, right? And so I go in there and I know that, and I talk about these things, and then hopefully you joke around, and then I say, you know what, we need to give each other, and I got this from our buddy Kevin Lehman. I said, you know what we need to do? We need to give each other vitamin A, an apology. That's what he calls an apology. And Perry, they'll do it. And I just say, do we want to, right now, you know what, right now, let's, there are people here who need to apologize. And usually it takes a while for the first one to do it. But once the first one does it, the dam breaks, and it's a beautiful thing to behold.
Well, I can't say enough about supporting what Paul is doing, and again, maybe your school or your organization needs him to come in, but you can't afford it. So this is a benefit gathering an event to help raise the funds so he can continue to go into places and offer the services to those who can't afford it. So if you need to, you want to get a ticket, $15, come on out. Who knows, get your name in the hat from the guitar from the Eagles. That's pretty good. Theprotectors.org, or check it out on the Protectors on Facebook and get all the information there. It'll be next Tuesday evening at the Rogue Valley Country Club, and I just can't say enough about what he's doing. I tell you, I do a lot with, as you know, with Patrick Doyle at Treva Kuiper here. I won't name all the other people that I have on that deals with various issues, and the ones, especially now, with the connection of adolescence and sexual identity as a result of bullying. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You're talking about Patrick and the psychological ailments.
Yeah.
A girl who is a serial target,
Yeah.
25 times more likely to develop agoraphobia later in life. My mom suffered from agoraphobia, and it's just one of those things that continues to cloister that poor person, and they just don't get out of the house. And
Wow.
we're not meant to live that way.
All right, thank you, buddy. Again, theprotectors.org, or check them out on Facebook. Be a part of the event next. Oops. Sorry about that. Next Tuesday at the Rogue Valley. I just got bullied out with my pen there. Anyway, next Tuesday at the Rogue Valley Country Club. Starts at 6 and dinner at 7, and should be a great time. So thanks, buddy. Thanks for what you do.
Thank you, Perry.
Okay, we'll be right back.